Mayor Tenhaken, this is our first official project, I think.
I love it, yes.
Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
We have something really special that we are launching. It's the inaugural Everyone Reads project, a joint project between the Sioux Falls School District and the City of Sioux Falls.
I love it.
Very exciting. One of the things that we know is so important to a community is literacy. And so the goal of this project of Everyone Reads is to develop readers 0 to 100. So it's everybody, which is why we need the city.
100 plus even.
100 plus, that's right.
Okay.
Because we have some readers that might even be over that 100 mark. How exciting is that
I met a
to
lady
think
last year
about?
who was 106.
That's pretty awesome. I hope she participates. So we've got some things going on. And one of the parts of this is in our school libraries, and one of the parts is in our public libraries. Tell us just a little bit about the importance of public libraries to a community.
You know, public libraries end up being kind of hallmarks to the neighborhoods in which they reside. They become meeting places, they become social gathering places, they become places where a lot of our youth will not only get information, get books, do homework and so forth, but where they end up hanging out and where a lot of times they're exposed to things for the first time through literacy, through reading. And so we put a lot of effort into turning over our collection a lot, making sure we're providing the right information to our community based on what they're after, because we know how important literacy is, especially early literacy. That's a soft spot in my heart, is making sure kids, before they're even in school, have been exposed to reading, to the alphabet, are getting read to. So we have a lot of programs in those libraries around the community that read to kids, where moms and dads can take their kids to be exposed to reading. So our library system is just a real critical part of that preparedness for kids when they're in school, and then once they're in school, helping them with their education as they go through school.
A couple of things you said there that I think are so important. When we think about babies, we think, well, they can't understand anyway, but we know brain development and those early bonding times between parents and children, that happens when they're brand new babies. I remember reading to my babies. I was determined that I was going to do that from day one. But some of those special programs that we have for parents to come to see what's available, and then also to do the same thing as we help our elementary age kids be good choosers of books, making sure they're at the right reading level, as well as choosing things that they're really interested in. So it sounds like we have those things in common. Great collections that give kids lots of options. Well, then they get into middle school and high school, and we know those are critical times to develop the love of reading. And that gathering piece that you talked about, just hanging out with friends, but being interested in books, is really important. Talk about some of the things that you've seen maybe through the years that have developed through the city libraries that you can point to that says, this has been really good for our community.
Yeah, you know, a few things jump out at me on this, and for your listeners or for your viewers to know, we didn't pre-screen any of these questions, so you're getting just raw, unfiltered answers here. But one thing that's really evolved for us over the years is our digital collection. So libraries, historically when you say library, you think that's a physical place you go, you check out a book, you get a physical asset, you take it home, you return it. Our digital collection has grown tremendously. When you look at some of those middle school, high school, adult readers, a lot of them are accessing the digital collection like crazy. So that's expanded the reach of the library system beyond just the brick and mortar location where you have to physically go there to get a book.
And I think that was something too that really came alive during COVID when we were all staying home more. Those digital collections and keeping people reading, I know, were critical for a lot of the people that I knew. They were still connected even though they couldn't physically be at their library, but they found out how vast those digital collections are.
We had a lot of people reach out to us during COVID about our digital collections, a lot of new library signups as a result of COVID, so it exposed more people to what digital collection can look like, how the digital library system works. And so that's one piece that's really evolved. The other piece that's really evolved for us is just our ability to be a technology hub. You know, again, libraries, a lot of times we think books, but we have LinkedIn services that provide all kinds of job readiness training, all kinds of online courses and curriculum for adults. We have a lot of computer access where people We still have a digital divide in our community where people come to the library to apply for jobs, to access their EMR for healthcare. So I see the future of libraries really evolving into these digital collaboration centers as well, where we'll still have books, of course, but they're going to be more like innovation centers, learning centers where people will come, access those computers, access those machines, and in some cases we'll probably even start to have people there who will be able to assist them more, tutor them, help them more in job readiness, workforce training, finding childcare, finding housing. Our libraries continue to be those kind of one-stop shops where people come for that information.
All of those really good points, and I think that's one thing we've seen with school libraries as well. They've evolved over time, and a lot of the gathering places now have comfortable seating, whereas before we had uncomfortable seating, and we look at it not as a place to come and sit down and be quiet, but to come and talk and gather and do those things that kids enjoy doing. So we think about that, resources to adults, wanting people to get together, wanting adults to share what they're reading, and really looking at that whole picture of literacy. So we hope everybody will participate from 0 to 100, that you'll access your community libraries, our school libraries, and that you'll read together, you'll read on your own, you'll read digitally, and you'll pick up a good book and hold it in your hands. And we look forward to seeing how this project turns out. We'll be able to point to it, I know, as something that makes our community great, and let's all be readers.